SZA and Nicki Minaj beefing. Have we seen this before? I'm not gonna lie to you. I try my best to not talk about this topic. Reason being is because I just don't do messiness and I don't do beefs that doesn't result in making good music or something that's really realistic. I think it's just a bunch of he say, she say. But I said, you know what? Let me cover it because there's something that's lurking here in terms of the concept or the angle that I'm looking at it. And I think that we've seen it before. I think we've witnessed something like this before. Now, from what I understand, and I can be totally wrong, but from what I understand is TDE's president, TDE Punch, he tweeted something on social media, on X, and it said, broken Barbies. No one really knew what that mean. You know, TDE is known for dropping lines, saying certain things that have multiple meanings, whether you believe that or not. But pretty much they drop subliminals and you would have to figure out what that means or just wait on the rollout. And the rollout is usually some music, usually a record, usually something that's phenomenal. TDE has a record of just doing great music and great artistry. So we get that. But if you don't understand how to approach when people from TDE post something, you have to, there's a way to read it, dissect it, wait on it, don't heavily judge it because you don't really know, and then see what comes out. Someone that is a high profile superstar artist, because she's attached and made her brand off of the concept of Barbie. Barbie is famous toy, you know what I mean? But of course, by Nicki Minaj taking on the Barbie mantle and of course having her Barb's fan club, she takes that completely how she wants to take it. I'm not going to say it's out of context because we don't really know why that tweet was made just yet. We still got to wait. So calm down, relax. But she decides to go off the deep end and made some tweets regarding Punch and threw in SZA. Now, if you know what SZA's doing, SZA's on tour with Kendrick Lamar right now. And, she's doing her thing. She is becoming a superstar artist in her own right. You know what I mean? So Nicki goes off the deep end and says some things about SZA and, her not being someone of the caliber, of the ilk. I'm not going to read exactly what she said. That's for y'all to do. Go read the tweets and go check it out. But she pretty much said some things that kind of demeaned the aura and the great career that SZA has had so far. So SZA takes it upon herself to respond back, of course, because not only is she being talked about, but she's also defending her manager. Punch is the manager of SZA and he's the president of TDE. So she's going to defend that. So she goes ahead and she, talks about Nicki Minaj and pretty much says, hey, I've done what I've done in my career. You've done what you've done in your career. And I must be doing something right because you actually asked for a feature from me twice. And I didn't give you a response. So SZA's alleging that Nicki Minaj asked for a feature from her. Then she dropped the receipt. Of, I don't know if it was Nicki Minaj or it was somebody from Nicki's camp or whatnot that was requesting for a feature. Now, does that say that Nicki Minaj was asking actually for the feature or she requested it? Or was that just a play from her A&R or somebody that's trying to get a good record done? Either way, it's from her camp. And it was met with no response from Punch or SZA in regards to, they got to a point where, they said, okay, send over the record and then we'll listen to it and we'll get back to you. And apparently it never went nowhere because they don't have a record together. So at this point, it's a little bit of back and forth banter. And it's one of those things where it's like, I think we've seen this before. Let me explain. Sorry, I've been sleepy these past couple of days. I've been working hard. Working a lot on my production, a lot of TV and film stuff. I've been working hard. Give me a second. So, during the Kendrick and Drake battle, and even now to this day, a lot of fans on both sides have always gotten at each other on who's better, who's not, things like that. And that's all good. If you feel like one is better than the other, then that's cool. But judging by what happened in the battle and the result that happened from the battle, I've been hearing a lot of Drake fans say, well, Kendrick got all of these accolades and awards, so you should be thanking Drake because Drake initiated the beef. And I think that's a crock of shh. It's almost like saying if the Boston Celtics beat the Lakers, then you should thank the Lakers for the Celtics being champions. Like, come on, y'all. What are y'all talking about? A win is a win, a loss is a loss. I'm saying that to say, I think Nicki Minaj has been experiencing her Young Money team losing a lot. And I think that a lot of her gripes is coming from trying to defend her Young Money team, preferably Drake and Lil Wayne. I think that she's trying to push back. I mean, even to be honest, even going at Jay-Z, I think she's just trying to push back and go against people because the Young Money team is not being looked at in the best light. That's what I mean by I've seen this before. Did Kendrick take a shot at Drake musically? Yes. And it's also one of them things where at that moment, and we all know because we all lived it, at that moment, all the fans, majority of the Drake fans said, oh, this is an easy win. This is an easy wash. Drake gonna wash Kendrick. That's what everybody believed. And then the result did not come out that way. It did not come out that way. And I'm saying that to say this. Mark my words. If SZA and Nicki Minaj get into it musically, it's not going to go the way you barbs think it's going to go. I got to be honest. Maybe she might win, maybe. But SZA is on a trajectory that's getting higher and higher right now. She's doing some amazing things. And what a lot of fans of Drake and fans of Nicki Minaj and fans of Lil Wayne, what they don't understand is that you're giving these TDE artists fuel to fire what they do artistically. They're not just regular artists that just do whatever. They're very strategic. They're very calculated. Regardless what you feel about SZA, she's been putting some of the best work out in the past 5 to 7 years, musically, against all the best. You guys have to remember that at the end of the day, if the music is getting better, no matter what the beefs is going on, no matter what anybody's beefing about or whatever, TDE's music is getting better. That's what y'all don't get. I think that's what Nicki doesn't get. Is that SZA is just going to get better. And goes back to my point where the Drake fans say, oh, thank Drake for Kendrick's success, which I think is a crock of shh. But Nicki Minaj is going to do the same thing that Drake did. Start a beef, talk trash, and watch SZA's career get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Didn't anybody learn that a king can fall just as much as a pawn? I'm sorry, I gotta be honest. I have to be honest. And to be honest, Nicki don't even have a reason to dislike SZA. You just want to dislike her. I guess you might want to see another battle. I don't know. This is not the time to be beefing with TDE artists. Don't do it. Don't do it. Last thing before I go. In these times of these rap battles and stuff going on, you have to remember that your opponent, whoever you're going against, you have to evaluate them for who they are truly, no matter who you're going against. I don't think artists look at that. I think some artists be on whatever they own. They own a high horse or whatever, and they don't really think that how is your opponent looking at this situation? Because some people are just ultimately competitive that they will go all the way to the deep end to prove the point. I'm sorry, but even when Nicki went against Cardi B, she never anticipated that Cardi B would work just as hard to get just as big and popular as Nicki Minaj. That was a mistake that she made. She put so much energy into try to diss her and talk bad about her that it actually made Cardi B better and stronger. Same thing with SZA. I think that Nicki's going to make that mistake again. And she's going to help SZA get to an undeniable superstar status. I mean, she's already on her way to doing it anyway. It's nothing you can do to stop it. But what I'm saying is, when you go against an opponent, especially in the time where you're doing what you're supposed to do as an artist, it could only do two things. It could only bring the value of your music and your career down, which we've seen that before. We've seen that before. Or it can make you rise to the occasion and become one of the best in the game. What side do you think SZA is going to stand on? What do you think she's going to do? You think she's going to fall in despair because somebody's talking about her and try to discredit her career? Or do you think she's going to rise to the occasion and do something amazing? And to be frank and honest, SZA hasn't even made her best music yet. She haven't even made her best music yet. She was just talking a while ago that she was going to retire for a while and go do movies or something different. Now you done pissed her off. Now you done pissed her off. Now she got to go ahead and make another album, another 2-3 albums. Now you done pissed her off. You see what you did? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know if this SZA and Nicki Minaj thing is even worth continuing to follow. Because to be honest with you, if there's no dope music that come out of this, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be mad. I want to see some good music come out of this. But if not, stop talking about each other. Just do what you do. I mean, to be honest, SZA is on tour right now. SZA ain't got time for that. She's doing great on tour right now. She did throw a shot in Paris, though. I seen that. SZA threw a shot in Paris to Nicki Minaj. Hey, all's fair in love and lyricism and good music. So let's get some good music out of this. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I appreciate y'all showing the love. Make sure you become a member. I actually got some new videos coming out when I'm explaining and telling the stories about some things that has happened great in my music career. And I want to share that with y'all. So make sure y'all become a member because those are dropping tomorrow. All right. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is. Workload.